What a sunny and beautiful day. Me and my boy out here, we are chilling, and I'm actually going to show you guys the backyard trail that we are currently working on and kind of found. So not too long ago, I actually got a couple of mountain bikes, one for my brother and one for me. So I was actually going to start hitting the trails and everything, but as I was just riding in the backyard, and I just found like there's a loop that I can actually follow and kind of hit a trail. So here it is. So that right there is like the side entry from the house. That's the driveway. So off we come here. Now, as you can see, the pond is right here, and there is like a little space here in the back of the house where there used to be like chairs and tables and stuff like that, which we still didn't set up this summer. But coming out here, it kind of like connects out that way, and then we also have a garage right here. So basically we have a little path here, and then we also have our garden right next to it. So this is the middle of the yard, and this is where we have our two big raised beds. So the raised beds are there on the left side, and the garage is here on the right side, but in the middle is a path which me and my dad built last summer when we actually built a shed behind the garage. So this is like a DIY shed. As you can see, it's put together with multiple different materials. It does the job. So we had that, and we basically kind of made a pathway to get here if whenever there's snow and stuff like that, because of that. So we have that, and then I don't know if you could see like a beaten path here, a little wider than the rest of the greenery around it. This is where the bikes basically go. Now here we have some space on this side in the back of the backyard where we actually can go through multiple different ways. Let's actually start with the beginners. So the beginners would basically go straight between this tree here and this pole here. They would basically go right through this. Now the second way is basically between this tree and that tree there, and you would basically go through this, and there's a little bit of jump here, and then you get onto the crates here, and then you go over the crates. There are 3 different crates, and they rock back and forth as you kind of pass through them, which adds a little bit of challenge. But again, this is a beginner friendly one. This is what we mastered. Every beginner that I actually got into mountain biking basically hits this trail whenever they are here in the backyard. So this is what we do. And on top of that, this is the third way. Now this is a little bit trickier because of the cornering and stuff, but I think this one is pretty fun too. So first we have a little bit of jump here, or a bump I should say, and then we basically go and edge this. Basically we just go through the edge, just go over the plastic here and then the tarp here, and basically meet back on the same trail. And so basically it's like 1 way and then 2 way to come down this way, and then the easy one would be the 3rd way, which would be between the badminton fence and the tree there. So 3 ways they can actually come through this. And then this is something I was working on today and yesterday. So we basically took some tires. These are 2 old tires from the Camry, and the other 2 were left with rims with tires in the backyard by previous owners, I'm guessing. So we basically put them to use, put a piece of wood, these are pressure treated wood, we just laid them on top of it. I believe this one is a 2x10, this one might be a 2x6 or 8, I don't know which one is which, but yeah, that's that. And then we just laid them flat. Basically I actually had the thicker one here just by itself, and being beginner riders here, we couldn't really go through the whole thing. So we're practicing on having both of these, and I think this would be a lot safer than having just one. And just for support, we had all those in the bottom, so it doesn't actually rock back and forth or anything. It's pretty solid. So that's how I went with it. So basically there's a ramp here. This stool I made probably like 4 years ago, 3 years ago, don't remember, but yeah, just held in with 2 drywall screws there, 2 drywall screws there, like I think 2x3, 2x4, and I think the top is a piece of plywood or something. I don't remember, but yeah, something I made a long time ago for gardening. Basically, we just put the stool here just to kind of help us get onto this thing. But again, this I think I will remove soon, and maybe try to solidify this after we get rid of the garbage in the back. We'll basically push this in the back because this, as you guys can see, there's a badminton court we have here. It'll get in the way, so I don't want it to be get in the way, so I didn't make anything permanent here because of that. So this is how we have it right now. We basically used to just ride through this on the grass, so now we have a little bit more challenge to come across. Now basically, up until yesterday, we were actually going just this way and then going out back, right? Yesterday I actually figured if we take the tires, they were all like this, we just put them up standing like that, which makes enough space where we can actually, right after jumping off this thing, we can actually re-enter this curve here and then go around this big tree. Now this is pretty slippery, so we'll actually have to work on this today and getting this part cleaned out, and putting some soil in here, maybe tamp it down and stuff like that, so we have better grips and stuff like that, because that is very slippery. I tried going through it like 2-3 times. If you have any sort of speed at all, you will slip. So that's how bad it is over there. So we'll work on that, and basically it kind of adds like another thing to do along the way. And I was also thinking I might add a light there on the pole. I'm actually considering closing off this fence with PVC fencing, so I don't get in the way of my neighbors and stuff like that. So I just put a light over there and maybe make like a ramp that's like tilted, and it basically like comes down here, so we can actually ride on the ramp and then come down, which would be very fun. So from that, we basically meet back on this pretty nice trail. This trail here is pretty easy and straight, so all we do is go through it, and as you can see, this was the second bed here on the left side. We basically go between the fence here and then the raised bed here, and then now there are two ways to go back onto where we started from. One is to the right here, and then one is going straight. Now to the right is for beginners who doesn't really want to go through the skinny and sketchy stuff here. They can just go straight down that way, get onto the driveway again, and then go back into the trail all over again. But this way is something I did the first time I actually went through. So there were a lot of garbage here, which we kind of removed. Some of them I didn't, but we will basically have to work on this a little bit more. But these rocks here actually makes pretty good of an obstacle to deal with, because if you stand up, you hear the noise of the rocks going back and forth. It's rocking, it's slapping on one another. It's kind of like a nice thing to hear as you go through this. And because these are rocks, there's less grip than the ground over there. So because of that, it actually feels a little bit faster. So that also feels good. There used to be a tree here which we cut down when we moved, because it was actually interfering with our insurance, because this tree was huge and it basically got on the roof and it was damaging the roof. So we had to cut it down, and because of that, we actually have a stump here, and that's kind of good because I like how this is super narrow, and this adds a whole challenge on its own. Plus this loose piece of rock here kind of helps add another thing to it, just a nub that you have to ride over, can't really avoid it. And then we come back. I basically have to jump over the wire right now because the wire is on the way. I'll have to kind of figure this out, but this is the pond stuff basically. And then we go down this route onto this red pavers here, and we basically are back at the driveway here where the garage is, right in front of us. And then we can go to the left to continue all over again, or we can come to the right, which is where we have our stands set up for the mountain bikes. Now these two stands would be basically over there, and we can just come in and quickly put the bike right there and then do what we have to do. Maybe work on the trail, or maybe work on something else, or take a break, and then we would basically continue onward. So that was pretty much the beginning of this trail. We will definitely improve. We will add a lot of other things. We will do a lot of more fun things as we progress. Obviously, I'm trying to keep it beginner friendly right now, because I did ride mountain bikes for years and years and years, but I never like really did mountain biking. So this is all new to me, and as I progress, I also want to have everybody progress with me who's riding with me. So, you know, my brother, my neighbors and stuff like that. So I'm actually like constantly having them ride with me here and there, and they're also improving. So as we go through it, we will improve. And if you guys have any suggestions with how we should improve on this, let me know in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching this video. See you guys next time. Peace.